Hello everyone. I welcome you all on the platform of Mentora IAS. I'm Rashid Yasin and I have been teaching for UPSC examination for more than 16 years. Clear? So it's been a long time. It's been a huge reservoir of experience. I am standing here to rather make you understand, first of all, how to prepare your UPSC examination, how to rather streamline your preparation in a time-bound manner and in a target-based manner. Clear? So let us start with this session to unfold the UPSC examination and to understand the nuances involved. Clear? First of all, as far as UPSC examination for civil service is concerned, it is conducted every year for all India services and central services, and this is an examination to scope the best talent in our country. Clear? So how this talent is rather judged by the examiner, let us understand about this. Clear? This examination is divided into three stages. Clear? The first stage of this examination is basically the prelims stage, which is qualifying in nature. Once you qualify the prelims examination, you are called to write mains examination. So to understand in a raw manner, prelims is just a permission to write mains examination after a candidate qualifies this. Clear? Prelims examination comprises of first paper of general studies. Clear? So first paper comprises of general studies, which comprises of 100 objective type questions, each question carrying 2 marks, and there is a negative mark of 0.33 as well. Then apart from general studies, there's another paper of CSAT under prelims examination, which is civil services aptitude test. It is merely qualifying in nature, but these days the paper of CSAT has improved a lot with respect to quality. So you need to be well thorough with CSAT preparation as well. Okay? Now we'll come to first of all what exactly is required to qualify general studies and CSAT. Okay? In prelims examination, there are altogether 7 topics given by UPSC. Clear? So first of all, you need to get through syllabus thoroughly. Clear? What are the broad topics mentioned for general studies? Number 1. Clear? First is current affairs of national and international importance. Second major topic is history of India and Indian national movement. Third is related to polity and governance. Fourth is related to economy. Clear? Fifth is related to geography of India and the world. Sixth is related to general science. Clear? And seventh is related to science and technology and environment and ecology. Clear? These are 7 broad topics which are mentioned in general studies paper. Clear? So first of all, the first task of every candidate should be to understand the syllabus. Clear? In fact, I'll let you know, syllabus ये बताता है कि how much to study. Clear? Clear? And to what extent the topic has to be prepared. Clear? It is known through PYQs. Clear? So even experienced faculties, then they will take the classes. They'll let you know that how much depth you need to know on respective topics to qualify the examination. Clear? So 2 things should always be there with you. One is the syllabus given for this examination. Another is the PYQs, that is previous year questions asked in UPSC prelims examination. Clear? CSET comprises of mathematics, reasoning, interpersonal skills, comprehension, and this paper requires sufficient amount of practice. Clear? Because without practice it becomes very difficult, and believe me, these days many candidates are not able to qualify prelims because they are not able to qualify first of all CSAT paper. Clear? Level of CSAT paper has gone up in these days. Clear? This is the first stage of the examination, that is prelims examination. Clear? Normally 8 to 9 lakhs candidates appear or write or fill the form for UPSC. Almost half of it, around 5 lakhs, appear for prelims, and normally around 10,000 to 12,000 candidates qualify prelims examination. Clear? So given the number of candidates qualifying the examination, it can be said it is not a process of selection, it is more a process of elimination. Clear? So you need to be following a very smart approach to qualify the examination. Because obviously you have to play very smartly in order to book your seat for mains examination. Clear? So these are the major things to be kept in mind while preparing for prelims examination. Clear? Then refer to authentic sources and books. Clear? Don't run after multiple number of books to prepare for prelims. Clear? But revise the books, authentic books, again and again. Consolidated knowledge is required to qualify prelims examination. Clear? Once you have written prelims examination, coming to the main battle. Clear? The main battle of this examination is the mains examination. Clear? In fact, all your merit and rank will depend on the mains examination. Marks scored in prelims is not counted in the merit list. For merit list, your marks scored in mains examination is counted, and then finally your personality test. Clear? Mains examination carries 1750 marks. Clear? And what are the breakups of 1750 marks? Clear? First of all, 500 marks are allotted for optional subject. Clear? Out of more than 20 optional, you have to choose one optional subject. Clear? And here I want to make it very clear. Clear? Don't choose optional subject only by looking into the trend of examination. Clear? If some people have scored well in some subject, it is not necessary that your aptitude will also match and you can also equally score good in that optional. Clear? Rather, optional should be chosen wisely. First of all, depending on your interest in the subject, and then depending on the availability of course material and expert guidance. Clear? Because 500 marks is quite decisive in nature. Clear? After this, there are 4 GS papers of 250 marks each, and this is GS paper 1, 2, 4, 3 and 4 of 250 marks each, that amounts to 1000 marks. Clear? So obviously GS paper 1 will have 250 marks, then paper 2, then paper 3 and paper 4. Clear? GS paper 1 comprises of topics like art and culture, modern India, then post-independence, world history, Indian society, and then geography of India and world. Clear? Paper 2 comprises of polity, governance, then international relations, then society and social justice. Paper 3 comprises of economy, science and tech, then internal security, then disaster management, and paper 4 comprises of ethics, integrity, and aptitude. Clear? So 4 papers together, 1000 marks. Clear? And remaining 250 marks are allotted for essay paper, which is very decisive these days. Clear? You are supposed to write 2 essays out of multiple topics, and every essay will have 125 marks each, so 250 marks for essay alone. Clear? This amounts to 1750 marks allotted for mains examination, pure subjective examination, and that subjective examination all depends on your knowledge plus your writing skill. Clear? Without proper writing skill, you cannot score marks only on the basis of knowledge. Clear? So that requires huge amount of empowering skills and tools for you. Without that skills and tools, you cannot crack the examination. Clear? And ultimately, when you qualify the mains examination, clear, around 12,000 candidates writing mains every year, so almost 3,000 candidates are called for personality test. Clear? So third stage of this examination, this is related to personality test. Clear? Do remember, it is not known as interview, it is known as personality test, and this comprises of 275 marks. Clear? And quite decisive in nature, 275 marks. Clear? Why do we call it to be a personality test? Clear? Because this examination, this test is not for your knowledge. Your knowledge has been tested in prelims, your knowledge has been tested in mains. Here, your personality is evaluated according to administrative requirement. Clear? So how fit you are for administrative responsibilities at national and state level, which is being judged in the personality test. So your integrity, your decision making power, your critical ability to think, your coherence of thought, all these are being evaluated in those 25 to 30 minutes by UPSC board. Clear? So there would be 5 persons evaluating your personality for 25 to 30 minutes, and therefore marks are awarded. Clear? Only one thing to be followed in interview, I suppose, is that you need to be honest about your past, but very optimistic about your future. Clear? Don't count only on negativity. Always show a positive light. Always show that you are an optimistic person ready to solve problems of common masses. Clear? This is the major theme required in personality test, 275 marks. Clear? If you count the marks for mains examination and personality test, clear, they together count for almost 2025 marks. Clear? So obviously your merit would be counted for 2025 marks. Clear? Marks, and final list is prepared out of 2025 marks, and accordingly services are allotted as IAS, IFS, IPS, and then so on, the central services as well. Clear? This is the major thing, major pattern of the examination that everyone needs to know first of all. Clear? Now apart from this, clear, what are the sources to be referred, or the sources are to be done? Clear? In fact, I'll let you know. Clear? Sources more or less remains to be same. Clear? For history, the sources like Bipin Chandra, NCRT, everyone will tell you to study. Clear? But point here is, clear, that while you are studying, all the topics may not be equally important. Some topics may be more important depending on UPSC pattern. Some topics may be less important. Clear? Who will let you know that? Clear? Here comes the role of experienced faculty members. Clear? Experienced teachers can let you know what topics are more important because experience has its own role. Clear? And at Mentora IAS, clear, there are experienced pool of teachers who will really let you know that what topics are to be done thoroughly, where to pause and where to emphasize more. Clear? So that those topics are done comprehensively, and in the examination room you are able to take an edge from other candidates, because obviously this examination is about relative merit. Clear? Since examination is about relative merit, obviously, clear, you need to be better than the other candidates. Clear? So always remember one thing very clearly, that you need to be under the guidance of experienced faculty members as well as mentors who can guide you throughout the process till the time you are through in the list. Clear? So first of all, books and list would remain to be more or less the same. But point here is, in prelims examination, you need to go for more extensive study with a smart approach. Clear? That which topics are to be done very thoroughly, from where questions are asked, so that you can qualify the examinations lead. Mains examination is not about knowledge alone. Mains examination is more about tools and skills. Clear? In fact, here comes the role of experienced members. Clear? Since mains examination is the real battle. Clear? And mains is totally in your own hand. 1750 marks there. And as you perform in mains examination, marks are allotted and you are there in the list. Interview can decide your rank. It cannot decide your selection. Clear? And this mains examination requires large amount of tools and large number of skills. Clear? Tools and skills are two things to be kept in mind. Clear? How to translate your information into power-packed answers, that is not an easy task. Let me know. Clear? In fact, the real test of this examination is how you are able to present your knowledge in form of effective answers. Clear? So translating answers in the form of powerful answers is requires huge amount of tools and skills. Clear? First important thing to be focused upon is you need to first of all develop the habit of reading and understanding the question to understand the demand of the question. Clear? Because normally you will be asked to write 150 words, 200 words, 250 words max. Clear? So obviously you need to concise everything within the framework of 200 words to present a powerful answer. This requires huge amount of contemplation. This requires huge amount of understanding. This requires huge amount of empirical case studies. This requires huge amount of proper formulation of points. Clear? Prioritization of points also carries weightage. Clear? So all these will develop when you develop first of all knowledge, which is the basic ingredient. After developing knowledge, the next important thing is how to convert that knowledge into effective answers. Clear? And that requires huge amount of practice by every candidate. Clear? No candidate can write power-packed answers in the first go. Clear? So you're bound to commit some errors, but don't worry about that. Clear? first of all, the point is do as much practice as possible, commit as much errors as it can be, clear, so that you are brushed up with things properly, and there in the main examination you are able to write relatively much better answer than other candidates, because as I told you, it's this examination is about relative merit, and relative merit always depends on your performance as compared to other aspirants, clear. So first of all, mains examination is the most important battle, requires tools and skills, that is the writing practice. Writing practice will be done under experienced faculty. Those people who have experience for more than 10 years know the nuances very well, clear. So obviously here at Mentora IAS, there is a pool of experienced faculty members who can really guide you for mains examination, which is the real battle, clear. This is the major thing to be known, to be understood by every candidate here, clear. And depending on these things, I would let you know, clear, because let you know that all these subjects which are mentioned the syllabus, these needs to be supplemented with proper current affairs analysis, clear. Apart from reading traditional books like NCRTs and test books, reading regular newspapers is a mandatory thing, clear. If not newspaper, at least update the thing from various informations coming every day from different sources, clear. But preferably still, newspapers holds a significant place, especially papers like the Hindu, the Indian Express. Read these newspapers regularly. How to read the newspapers also is a skill, clear. So first of all, master the syllabus. The topic that is mentioned, you need to cover those topics from the newspapers. Like if there's a topic on international relations, like SEO summit going on, clear, it's always important for international relations, and always read international relations from India's perspective, clear. What is India's stake involved there, how India can play a major role in SEO, and what are the global dynamics involved in SEO, clear. So if you understand all these perspectives, you would be able to write proper answers in mains examination related to international relations, clear. So one form of knowledge in mains examination is the static knowledge, which is gained through the traditional books, clear. But static knowledge must be supplemented with dynamic knowledge, which comes through current affairs, clear. And dynamic knowledge will come only through newspapers, analysis, thorough reading. So static and dynamic information both needs to be clubbed together, then only you will be able to write a very proper answer in mains examination. This also needs to be taken care of, clear. And at Mentora IAS, special sessions will be held on current affairs to supplement to static information with current dynamics as well, which will lead you to write proper and balanced answers in mains examination, clear. These are some of the nuances to be kept in mind while preparing for this examination, clear. Book list you can get anywhere, but point is, apart from reading books, analyze the books also, the topics also depending on PYQs, then develop the habit of writing answers, contemplate the things properly, and supplement the traditional knowledge with the dynamic knowledge as well. These are some major things to be kept in mind for preparing UPSC, clear. Again, to start with, as a beginner, I would advise you lastly, always go through NCRT books, clear. NCRT books preferably from 6th to 12th onwards. That will create a fundamental base for you to go for further fortification of knowledge, clear. So you need to start with NCRTs, and after NCRTs, go through major textbooks. Like for history, you can go through Bipin Chandra, you can go through B.L. Grover, Shekhar Bandyopadhyay, but not before NCRT, clear. So preparation should start with fundamentals, that is from NCRTs. Along with NCRTs, you start reading newspapers, develop the habit of reading newspaper, and before this, clear side by side, master the syllabus thoroughly. Topics should be done thoroughly. It should be there in your mind that these topics are to be done. Wherever you get relevant information on those topics, try to rather grab those informations and try to develop the habit of using those informations in answers. I told you, translating information into effective answer is the key to qualify this examination, okay? So these are some of the things to be taken care of while starting the preparation for UPSC examination, clear. So on behalf of Mentora IAS team, I welcome all of you and hope that all of you will benefit from this team in coming time. Thank you and all the best.